Guys, welcome back to another lit video. It's your girl Larato period or Nish guys, give the witness of Congress has been prosecutions and hit the subscribe button down below, guys. And guys, I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers, guys. Let's help my channel grow. Don't forget to hit your subscribe button. For today's video, right into Andrewtate has good news. Mr. Tate has good news. Both will sing too much. Just hop into the.
So guys, Andrewtate's manager Jules Sartorial Shooter gives us a huge update on Andrew and Tristan's case and gives us some good news that the old Andrew will be returning. Guys, if you do want to join the real world, we have a link in the description.
Top G is
I'm talking to the brothers every day. I can speak to what they've told me. So they are allowed guests, they are allowed electronic devices, but they're not allowed to leave the house.
That's better.
Yes, it is them on their Twitter accounts. It has been the whole time. They were actually communicating their tweets to the men or the lawyers who were able to meet them, and then that was being put up on their account, so that it is them and has been them, on Twitter for the duration. But as things stand, they still haven't been charged formally, and as I understand it, the continuation of this being held preventatively, the preventive detention, can continue for another 3 months. At that point, as I understand it, again as a non-legal professional, then the concerned authorities have to either charge them or release them.
Found nothing as of yet. I'm curious what they think they're going to find in the next 3 months. It just seems to be moving in a direction to me that these guys are going to get set free. I mean, that they just haven't found anything.
Yes.
If they found it, they would have charged them. That's just
Facts.
legally what makes sense to an outsider. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think from a logical perspective, that's definitely accurate. But also from a logical perspective, why would men who drive Bugattis and fly on private jets need to somehow deprave an individual of their liberty and exploit them for very low amounts of money? They don't have the time, nor the care factor, nor the
I mean, that does
motivation
make
to do
sense,
such things.
unless that's the
yes,
main source
I
of
believe
income.
It's fair to say that that's, the current state of play is rather illogical, but then the allegations themselves are completely illogical as well.
That's right.
So there's a lot of, and one thing that is important
Doesn't
to say,
make
Andrew
sense.
doesn't hold any, he said it publicly and he means it. In our conversations, he's verified that. He doesn't hold any anger or any ill will against any of the parties involved, not even those making the allegations. He understands that we live in a world where certain types of people will make certain types of allegations against people with money and status to try and get a piece of that money and status.
He's made
He
peace with
understands
the. That's good.
authorities, when they receive certain types of complaints, it's their responsibility to look into them.
That is
so
true.
Andrew's whole thing at the moment is, this whole thing is, obviously it's incorrect. Anyone who knows Andrew, has been around Andrew and Tristan, knows that it's absolute nonsense. His main focus is clearing his name and then getting back to having a very positive impact and putting out his positive message to the world. So the point I'm trying to make here is there is no ill will from Andrew as to what's happening. Yes, it is deeply unjust.
And he said he
I don't
wasn't.
know
He
how
doesn't
I'd
have anything
respond to
against the
3 months
police.
in prison. And remaining in prison, it's not exactly 5-star, right?
Right, it's
I'm
not.
not sure how I'd cope, but he's stayed stoic and he doesn't have any ill will against anyone. He just wants to get this behind him and continue with the work of being a positive, motivating force for traditional values and for self-accountability and all the positive things that he preaches.
Some good news from what Jules has told us. Guys,
Yeah.
comment your thoughts in the comment section.
Speaks
Please
highly
leave a
of
like,
him.
subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Like he spoke so profoundly of Andrewtate stoic. Guys, English, guys, teach yourself some words. But from what he said, I feel like it's only logical. Like I think they did get released. Like, I'm just watching old videos at this point, but content. I have to put out content, and it doesn't make sense to arrest anyone for that matter besides them. It doesn't make sense to arrest any single human on this earth without evidence. It's like the tradition will be, okay, get arrested, they look for evidence, they find evidence, you get convicted, boom, boom, in prison, they sentence you for how many years you deserve to be in there, and then life goes on. But this thing is being is different if it's like a murder case and they're trying to find the killer. Like, let's say somebody died and they're trying to find who killed that person. Then there's a different case. It's probably gonna take long because they need evidence. They want to see who did it, who was where, at what time. But it's like this Andrewtate and Tristan Tate. Here are the so-called victims that were in Bentleys after the whole thing. And still no evidence, so it doesn't make sense. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Turn on your post notifications, hit the subscribe button, and it's your girl, and I'm out.